Built only steps away from Old Hampshire, some fear the new auditorium is a recipe for flooding disaster. But the New Hampshire auditorium will be built 7 to 8 feet higher than the previous building. The days of driving top-of-the-line sports cars to school have somewhat disappeared. Now students are more than willing to drive older cars to save a few bucks. Construction crews have been working very quickly to meet their 2016 deadline, but that progress came to a screeching halt when crews discovered artifacts lie just below the surface. With this year's better yield, the price of corn has fell dramatically, but this drop in prices doesn't have all farmers down in the dirt. Whether December gives us rain, snow, or sunshine, organizers say it's time to throw away the keys, get on the bike, and ride away.
I don't really care. I really don't have any limits.
Limits. Quickly becoming a loose term around college campuses, pushed to the test by a small but dangerous pill that students are taking as an academic steroid.
When you first take it initially and you're starting to feel the effects, you do feel a little bit calm, ready to go, energized.
This University of Iowa student, who asked to remain anonymous, uses Adderall as a study aid.
Adderall is so easy to get, it's not even funny.
A 2011 study by the Suffolk Medical News Daily found over 34% of college students nationwide have used Adderall. But it isn't just your average drug user seeking the substance.
I've had several people ask me if I had it, and I've never mentioned anything about a prescription or even taking it. I was very shocked at some of the people that asked me if I had it.
Hardworking students, sucked into the slippery slope of drug use. She dives towards the table, collecting every bit of blue powder in her nose, quickly leading to an elevated level of focus. But many college students aren't realizing how quickly the drug can turn.
Coming down off of it is it's kind of bad. Your heart's racing and you're just very on edge, and it keeps you up for a while too.
Describe that a little more, what are the feelings associated with it?
It's nervous, I would think very anxious as well. I compare it to coming down off of ecstasy.
Much like ecstasy, Adderall is classified as a stimulant. And according to the FDA, the two drugs share very similar risks, ranging from nervousness and anxiety to heart failure and even possible death. As the list of consequences grows, the question is raised.
Why do so many students take it, do you think?
I think that there's such a heavy emphasis on success in this society because there's no jobs, and so everyone feels that they need to be on the maximum level in every aspect of their life.
To achieve this level, students are buying, crushing, even snorting their way to perfection, with or without an Adderall prescription. Beyond the thousands of dollars in fines and a maximum 10-year jail sentence, those using Adderall without a prescription face another great danger.
If the drug itself isn't addicted, the habit will be, because if I need to study, I need Adderall.
Physical or mental addiction, when put in the wrong hands, this tiny pill can present some huge dangers. I'm Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV.
Twice in the last 3 years, the Mount Vernon Science Olympiad has won state titles. TV9's Brad Maxwell spotlights their hard work.
It began with an interest in science.
I just have really liked science ever since elementary school.
But hard work and dedication landed these students a one-way ticket to Dayton, Ohio.
We were lucky enough to go to nationals this year. We have put a lot of work into this, and we've gone to a few competitions so far, and we were lucky enough to win state.
Over the last 7 months, Mount Vernon Science Olympiads have spent hundreds of hours piecing together their projects.
For middle school, we'll have 68 of the top teams in the nation to compete against, and it's just an intense day of competition. It's kind of like a science track meet.
From a mousetrap vehicle to a homemade bass clef, students will take on all areas of science, no matter the difficulty.
This takes science that we do in middle school above and beyond. We're looking at the things that they need to know is college level stuff.
As students put the finishing touches on their projects, they have a simple message for their competition.
I gotta say, I was gonna take it all this year.
I hope they do good, but watch out for us.
That was TV9's Brad Maxwell with that report. The national competition is at Wright State University Friday and Saturday. We'll be
As the sun sets below the horizon, Downtown Iowa City begins to spring to life, but the sights and sounds of a Halloween weekend are drowned out by another sound. The radio screeches, sirens wail. Johnson County paramedics speed to another alcohol-related call.
Intoxicated females, officers are going to be in the alley behind me.
A mob of young faces crowd outside the Union. Behind the bar, a young woman sits in her own vomit, disoriented, drunk, and able to stand only with the help of paramedics.
We've increased our response level about 12% in the last year. The alcohol has increased just like everything else has.
You had way too much to drink, and I don't know what else you might have had.
Paramedics are responding to intoxicated students, both downtown and in residential areas, where they still witness interesting behavior.
It's kind of interesting to note the wide range of responses you could get to somebody's name, from anywhere from "I'm Bob, hi, how are you?" to
Funny at times, paramedics understand the severity of binge drinking and know the situation can become fatal without medical treatment.
The hardest decision to make is when someone comes in so intoxicated that they lose their gag reflex and they're vomiting, and then there's a fear of the vomit going into their lungs and them aspirating and dying.
In these severe situations, paramedics are forced to rush to the hospital, even though the patient's health is on the front of their mind. This isn't always reflected in the way they're treated in the back of the ambulance.
Individuals who are extremely intoxicated can be very belligerent. They're often not feeling well, so to deal with them vomiting and the mess that creates.
Dealing with the mess is a low point of the job, but not the most dangerous.
I have been spit, I have been punched, scratched, I have been bitten and kicked. And that's just a common assault that we have to deal with.
Treating severe intoxication is no party, but as students continue to abuse the powers of alcohol, Johnson County paramedics will be ready to face any dispatch that comes across the radio. I'm Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV. It's not just the beautiful weather. It's not just the vendors. It's the entire atmosphere that keep people coming back to Uptown Bill's. So dietitians say throwing these energy drinks aside and replacing with a healthy alternative can help slow down your heart rate. In a violent situation, evacuating the building is often the first reaction, but police say this isn't always the best choice. Let's time it and see how long it takes to get out of the building. From the third floor, it took me nearly 2 minutes to get out of the building. During that trip, I could again be exposed to the shooter or cause confusion for police officers.